Are you tired of self-doubt holding you back? Have you ever wished you could have the confidence to face your fears, go after your wildest dreams, and the tools necessary to live your best life? Hey there, amazing listeners. I'm your host and author of How to Grasp Confidence and Own Your Power. And I've made it my mission to help you break free from self-doubt and embrace confidence. Subscribe now and join us as we unlock the secrets to unshakable self-assurance. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Grasp Confidence. This is a podcast that we talk about confidence, but it's on a different level. It's personal development, it's self-leadership, and ultimately self-mastery. But in order to develop confidence, sometimes it involves us stepping into courage and into faith in a different way. And who better to have on my guest than Kelley? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But my next guest has really epitomized what stepping into faith means and showcasing faith in a different way. One, being proud of it. Two, being courageous enough to do it. And three, doing it with confidence and a belief that that message needs to be heard. Kelley, please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you so much, Tara, for having me. I'm super excited to be here today and share exactly what you just said and just empower people to have that confidence and have a deeper faith in what that looks like to them. So my name is Kelley Tyan, and I am from Boston, Mass. I am first a proud mother and wife. And I always say that first because that is my title and that's what I cherish the most in my life. But I also have my own podcast, Addicted to the Climb. I'm a 2-time author, a breast cancer survivor, and I just love cheering women on. I am considered a faith influencer, I guess.
I've never heard of that. Did you just make that up, Kelley?
Well, I made it up. I did. But I am a faith influencer. But what that means is I just want to influence lives in faith. I want to help people just have a deeper faith, activate a deeper faith, not only in God, but in themselves, because I believe that is the only way we can climb higher in life. So that's a little bit about me, Tara.
Well, you're also a former bikini competitor as well, and you joked about that, or you said that in a post, about you're doing all of these things, eating healthy, public speaking, you have a podcast, you've written a book, and I said, it sounds like we have so much in common, except for the bikini modeling part.
Well, that's one thing I'm so proud of. I am a 4-time national bikini champion.
Wow.
Don't take that lightly. It's not just putting on a bikini and getting on stage, people. It is about discipline, commitment, perseverance, and just showing up. And it was hard work, to be honest. It was very hard work, all the behind the scenes. Thank you for pointing that out. I think doing that helped me even further in my business life. Believe it or not, it just showed me that I can persevere and overcome and show up because, listen, I was on a very regimented food plan. And there were moments I was crying because my family was eating cake and ice cream. And I couldn't do anything. I had to follow the plan. But I think I became a stronger person in the end. And so I'm so grateful that I did that. And I did end up winning the titles. So not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. It takes a lot of confidence to do something like that.
Yes.
But like you said, it's habits too. It's, showing up, believing in yourself and, having that faith in yourself. And, going into the subject of what we're going to be talking about today is showing up and displaying that faith through confidence, right?
Yes.
because not a lot of people do that. And the few and far between people that actually are able to show up in faith, have confidence about it, let their voices be heard, let their beliefs be heard, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Those are the people that others really gravitate to and resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
They're seen as genuine, authentic, and it's refreshing to know that the other person, whether they're in your social media network or wherever, is actually a real person, has real beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and has that deep-seated love for something beyond themselves.
Yes. Yes. It's so true. Yes. My faith is everything. It is everything to me. And it wasn't always like that for me. I can tell you a little bit about my story.
Yeah, yeah.
I grew up in a faith Christian home. I'm an only child, and my mom just found Jesus one day. And I was like, okay. It was crazy in my house because all of a sudden she went from no faith really to this massive faith. And I want to just also add that my mom, when I was born, was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which was a very severe case. She had a very severe case of it from the moment I was born. It affects all your joints. So she was in a lot of pain her whole life. And when I was born, finding Jesus, I was about 10 years old when she really found her faith, and it changed her life. I watched her. She modeled this just a beautiful way about her. She persevered. If I know we're on live and you can't edit any of this, so excuse me, but I'm trying to find the right words. I saw my mother just persevere through her pain at all times. And it's only because she had such a strong faith that she consistently worked on. I saw her praying a lot, reading her Bible a lot, studying the scriptures. And I saw that build something in her that I knew if she didn't have it, I don't know if she would have made it in life, because she was in so much physical pain, which when you're in pain in your body physically, it affects your mental state more. And getting up in the morning was a chore for her. But I saw this faith that was so beautiful. And she had a smile on her face every single day. Like, I can get through this. And I knew as a little girl growing up, seeing that, in being the example that she was, I wanted what she had. And so for me, I witnessed all that, but I never talked about it. So I built 4 businesses. I've been a mentor and a leader for years, 20 years. I've been leading women from network marketing to fitness, eating healthy, all the programs that I've created over the years. And I was that woman that, even though I had this amazing faith, I never really talked about it. I was afraid to ruffle people's feathers. I was afraid that people wouldn't like me, or they'll say, I'm not going to do Kelley's programs anymore because she's talking about her faith. But then, Tara, I got to a point in my life after I lost my mother, my precious mother. It's been 6 years. I realized that my mother always talks about her faith, and people gravitated to that because I feel people, especially today, everyone's looking for hope, right? Sometimes in our own strength, in our own humanness, we're very weak, and everybody wants a glimpse of hope. And I said, why, Kelley, are you keeping this to yourself? Like, why aren't you sharing what God has done for you, what you saw modeled in your life through your mother? Why would you not talk about this more? And I just started using my voice. Only a couple of years ago, I started my podcast. I said, I'm addicted to the climb. I'm never going down. Addicted to the climb is just all about getting committed back to your climb, specifically being, persevering in your life through your obstacles, through your setbacks. And I started talking about my faith. And I noticed people started gravitating more to me. Well, the ones that wanted to hear more. And of course, there's people that don't want to hear, and that's okay. But it's became a beautiful, just sharing my voice has just created possibilities for people and opportunities for me. As far as what you mentioned, I am a keynote speaker. I love breathing life back into people, and having that faith just tied everything together today for my business. So
it's one of the tenets of personal branding. I think of it as, we're not everybody's person. It's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to concern yourself about.
nope.
You shouldn't appeal to everybody. You should appeal to the right ones. And, when we put those messages, those authentic messages out there, we are going to detract some folks, and some folks are going to be attracted to us.
Right.
We don't pay attention to the ones that unfollow us. We nurture the ones that do, because there's an alignment there.
Mm.
And, I've found that, sharing my values, my beliefs, my faith has really acted as almost an automatic filtering device.
I love that.
Yes, and you don't have to do the work, because people will unfollow you if they don't agree and if they're not aligned. And you know what? Be grateful for them and bless them on their journey, and you hope that maybe they do connect the dots eventually. But that's okay. It's not about appealing to everyone. It's about appealing to those right ones. And ultimately, those right ones are going to be the ones who support you. They're going to be the ones who, when you deliver a keynote, they're going to say, "Oh, I want to watch Kelley." They're going to be the ones that when you put out a book, they're going to say, "I got to get that book." It's because you were authentic from the beginning, and you were consistent with your messaging, but you showed up with that faith through confidence. That's big, because a lot of people are looking to be like you, but they just aren't sure how to do it. So they're looking up to you as that leader and mentor, Kelley. That's pretty powerful.
It's been a beautiful journey in my own life. And you're right, it does take a lot of confidence and courage. But again, I just go back to, I didn't want to keep it to myself. I know that faith has really changed my world in so many ways. I turn to faith now instead of fear. I used to let fear grip me through so many, we all face fear, right? It's a normal thing. We have fears in our lives. And it took me a long time to get out of that fear. And now when I lean in my faith, and I even say the words out loud, faith over fear. Sometimes I'll say that 100 times in a day when I'm facing a situation that I'm going through, or in the middle of the night when we wake up with fear. It happens to all of us. I just say, I turn to my faith. I start praying. I do what I know that will break the chain of fear, because we all need something to break the fear. And I know that's why for me, it's my faith. It's my belief that things will get better, that I will be okay. It's a mindset change that has to happen. And I share that with people, that you don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live in playing small. You can be courageous enough to step out, and having faith can help you do that. And it's amazing what can happen when you actually step out in faith. So many doors open.
It's incredible. It's one of those secret ingredients. I liken it, similar with gratitude, I liken it to having the keys to the universe.
Yes.
If you can be confident, which is self-faith, right?
Yes.
And you can have gratitude, which to me is faith beyond oneself. And then you can have, that faith in that other power too, that higher power, that connectiveness that binds all things.
Yes.
Well, what can't you do? I mean, that's almost, you're getting into that invincible kind of territory, right?
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Yes.
It's unstoppable.
It
And
sure
that
is.
to me it's not just changing, the minds and hearts of this generation, but that's almost, a transfer of energy that can go and beyond to generational even.
It really can. And that was it for me. I was holding myself back so many times, and I wasn't stepping out in faith. And I was wondering why other people were going so much further than I was. And it's, it's a discipline. This is something you have to work on every single day, talking yourself into things, right? It's feeding yourself positivity. I can get up. I can do this. Even if I fail, I'm going to try again. That's
Mhm.
that's all part of it. And that's stepping out into faith. But for me, my faith being in God, that gives me even more supernatural powers. When I plug into Him, I feel so unstoppable because in my own humanness, I'm weak. But when I plug into Him, I just feel so much stronger. And I
Mm.
feel like I can do all things, right? It's so powerful. And not just to think you can do everything on your own, because I don't think we can,
Yeah,
personally.
I agree. And, the reason why we're talking about this very topic today, you and I had a conversation because, I'm big into confidence, right? So
Yeah.
I've got a confidence based podcast, a book, and now a TED Talk on confidence. And you and I were exchanging some messages, and I said, you know what, Kelley? Not enough people truly understand that faith, is not just us having faith in God, but it's also the understanding that God has faith in us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe that God made any person to suffer, that God made any person to not live to their fullest potential and climb,
Yeah.
and succeed in life.
Right.
I just don't believe that. I believe that yes, we have faith in God, but God also wants us to succeed. He wants us to keep climbing higher, and He wants us to achieve that full potential. But it's that fear, those limiting beliefs, that self doubt
Mm-hmm.
that plants those seeds of negativity in us. And all of a sudden, that starts driving our actions, our habits, our behaviors, and ultimately our outcomes. So it's that fear based thing that, we make a lot of our decisions based on. And most of the day, for people in general, we're set on autopilot, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, if we've programmed ourselves for fear and for limitation, and then we're just replaying that old worn out tape in our heads constantly, it's going to lead to more of those negative habits and behaviors. So let's replace that fear with some faith
Right.
and see what happens. I mean, Kelley, this is impactful. This is like
Yeah.
changing stuff or life-saving, really.
Yes. And it's all about rewriting your script. That's it. Listen, we all have negative thinking. We can't erase that, right?
Yeah.
That's just life. Let's be real here. Negativity is part of the human race. I mean, we see negativity on the news, we hear negativity on the radio when we're driving. There's a lot of negativity. But let me just tell you right now, I get very passionate about this because I found myself, feeding into the negativity, which breeds more negativity. And I got to a place in my life, Tara, where I got so sick of it, even my negative body talk, my shaming that I used to do to myself, it was bad. I mean, I am a four-time national bikini champion, but when I got off the stage after that fourth show, and 2 weeks later, I gained 12 pounds. The way I looked at myself, I was in disgust. I was disgraced. I was ashamed. I felt nasty. I felt overweight because I wasn't looking the way I looked on stage. And that ruined my self-esteem for a long time. And I allowed it to. I kept feeding into it. I kept looking in the mirror saying, you're right. I'm not worthy anymore. I'm not on stage anymore. And I'm not competing anymore. Look at you, Kelley. And I kept letting those lies tear me down. It started affecting how I acted. It started affecting my relationship with my husband until the day I decided and made a decision to make it stop. And how do we do that? The only way we do that and break these vicious spiraling down cycles is choosing to speak life into yourself. I firmly believe that. I created a mantra a couple years ago, and it just is this. And I think everyone should write it down because it's changed my life drastically. I wrote it on my mirrors. I had it on sticky. I had it in my phone every day because I needed to see it on repeat to tell myself, I will not be defeated by my inner negative voice. That's the mantra. And I said that over and over and over because, again, I got so sick and tired of feeling bad about myself. I wasn't having faith in myself. I was feeling just discouraged all the time. And, this was even trickling into my business. Oh my gosh, are people going to buy my books? We can get that negativity creeping in any area. But the minute you stop it, because we have control, we do. I mean, take it from me. If I change my own life, you certainly can get yourself out of these bad,
Yep.
spiraling, negative, self-talk, destructive patterns that you're in. I was there. I'm just like anyone else, but I changed it myself. I made a decision and a choice. I said, if I don't do this, I don't want to live this way. I don't want to live the rest of my life feeling that I'm not good enough. Because why am I feeling like that? God, you touched on it, Tara.
Yeah.
God created us all perfect and beautiful.
Yep.
And we all have unique giftings and skills. I might not have what you have, but I have what Kelley has. And I want everyone listening to really think about you. You are unique. You don't have to have what I have. I don't want you to have what I have. If we were all duplicates, then it would be such a boring world, right? It would be so boring. It'd all be the same. So it's like, it's up to us to really just zone in on what skills do we have. We're unique people, but we're all going to face fear. We're all going to have negative thoughts. It's all about standing up for yourself. I use another hashtag all the time. It's called be the one. Be the one that makes it stop. Be the one that says, no, I am not going to talk to myself like this anymore. I'm going to change it. Be the one to make a better decision in your life if you're going down an unhealthy road. Be the one. I mean, apply that to anywhere in your life. But it all does come down to that one decision, and it's choosing faith over fear. It's choosing life over death to yourself, speaking life over death, right? Or you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay frustrated. You're going to feel unworthy every single day. Nothing's going to change. 10 years goes by. You still feel the same way. All it takes is one change. But can I also just say one more thing?
Go for it.
This is not easy to do. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying you say that mantra and your life will change like a magician. No, I put the work in every single day. I told you I had to write it on my mirror so I saw it. I will not be defeated by my inner negative voice, because our inner negative voice is there 100% of 100% of the time. But the more you put things like that on repeat, the more you say them, even if you don't believe them, you start convincing yourself. If you say, I'm beautiful, I'm talented, I am skillful in speaking, whatever it is, maybe you're not yet there yet. The more you speak that into yourself, the more you kind of believe it. The more you become that person, the more you become more positive, and that creates a ripple effect. And that's what I've done over the years. And it took a lot of work, but here I am today, and I want everyone to know it's possible for you too.
So much wisdom in there. First off, I have a lot of female audience members, right? And I know you do as well. So I just want to mention the fact, dialing it back in, how you had just completed, this amazing competition. You finished one and you gained a couple pounds, and then you thought you were unworthy, undeserving.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, everybody that's listening, most people have body issues. Most people feel like they're undesirable, honestly.
Yeah.
Most people look in the mirror and say, ugh. But you know what? Even a bikini model, a bikini champion can have these
Oh,
feelings.
yeah.
So literally, I just wanted to mention that because there's so many people dealing with shame and body shame.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the statistic is like 75 or 80% of girls quit sports by the time they're like 14 or something like that, because of they're developing and they have body starting to, get body conscious and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's impacting their lives as well. I just wanted to hit on that because so many people look at you and say, I want to be Kelley. She is so amazing. But it's not about being Kelley. It's about being the best version of who you are, who you were designed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, when we compare ourselves, Kelley, it diminishes our own worth because I'm not supposed to be like you, and you're not supposed to be like me. I don't want anybody to say, I want to be like me. I want you to say, how can I be the best version of myself?
Right.
Because the God who created us didn't want you to be like me and me to be like you. He wanted you to be the best version of you.
Yes, that's it.
Boom. Right? What else do you need to know?
And I do also want to say, I mean, listen, I went through that for years, that body
Yes.
shaming. I really did. It was really affecting me in a very dark way. And I'm just going to be honest, because we're girls here just talking. I still sometimes go through it. I do. And I work very hard in the gym. And sometimes I'm like, what am I doing this for? I'm not seeing results, or I get upset with myself. And I want you to know, girls, women that are listening right now, you're not alone. You are not alone. I still have struggles in that. But I want you to know it's all about getting to a place of self acceptance and finally saying, am I going to keep talking to myself like this? What is it doing for me? Is it chipping away at my confidence? Is it chipping away at me being courageous to even go to the gym? I know so many women, they're so intimidated to even step into a gym. But I'm like, what is that costing you? You're
Yeah.
not going to, it's costing you your self-worth. It's costing you so much to, sometimes you just got to put your pride aside and go to the gym. No, first of all, can I give you a little tip? Because I'm a gym person.
I am too. Bring
Okay.
it on. I love it.
Nobody in the gym is looking at you. They're looking at themselves.
Yes.
If you went around and looked at everyone's looking in the mirror only at themselves. So
Yes.
you never have to be intimidated to go to the gym. Nobody cares.
That is so true.
They're literally looking at themselves because they want to see what their muscles are doing. They want to see their form, whatever it is. And I mean, I've been training women in this for years and just telling them that it's a joke now, because if you really do go to the gym, they're not looking at you.
Oh, I can think of one man in particular at my gym that I honestly saw him kissing himself in the mirror.
Oh, I see all of it.
All of it, right? And I was like, he's never looked at anybody else. He's
I mean, myself included. When I'm at the gym, I'm looking at I'm looking in the mirror to think, what am I doing? Oh, am I doing it right? Oh, look at my muscle.
I love it. But it's, that's the beautiful thing, is that self-acceptance.
Yes.
And knowing that you don't have to compare yourself to anybody in order to be better. You just have to, and for me, it was the small habits, those consistent habits, just 1% or so more improvement every day. Just small, steady steps in that right direction. And then you start to understand, what are your negotiables? What are your non-negotiables, right? What are the things that if I miss this, that's not acceptable? And you know what? Honoring your body, honoring your mental health, your physical health, all of that goes back to honoring your faith and honoring God in a way, because he created us and he wants us to live that best life, but it's up to us to take care of our physical and mental health.
That's exactly right. And that's part of my teaching, my coaching, my speaking, is to really just help people see themselves the way God sees them. Whether you're a believer or not, it doesn't matter. God, it's known. God says in his word, he created us all unique and perfect. We are his masterpiece. So that means he sees us as shining people. But we need to learn how to see ourselves that way. And it's a hard thing to do. But when you have a deep faith and you really trust God and you really know that he loves you no matter what, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, and that's, again, part of what I teach, because I'm so passionate, especially for women, because we're so hard on ourselves. Yeah. I really want women to see God the way, to see themselves the way God sees them. It changes everything. When I started saying to myself, Tara, well, how does God look at me? Is he looking at me that I'm fat or I have some dimples on my leg? I'm like, no, he's not. He looks at me beautiful. So why, if I'm faithful and if I'm trusting him and he's all I care about, why am I being so hard on myself? Why can't I accept the body that he gave me and just work on that? Just like you said, try to just be a little bit better every day. Like, just what can you do today that was different from yesterday, that can make you a little bit better? That's it. And so, I mean, I could talk about this all day
I
long.
know. I love it.
It's such a great, empowering topic, because the moment you really see yourself the way God sees you, things can change.
I love that. And it's so true. It's so right on. And you know what? Not everybody is going to identify with this topic that we had today, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The important thing is that I want everybody to take away from, faith is clearly one of your top core values, Kelley. It's probably your top, I would guess.
It's my
Right?
top.
It's
Yeah.
your top. I don't have to know. I didn't have to ask to know, right? So Kelley makes her top core values the center of her content, the center of what she's known for. It's her personal brand.
Yeah.
Listen, anybody who's listening, you have values. You have things that you believe in. Maybe it's faith, maybe it's love, maybe it's gratitude, maybe it's empowerment, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's activism, whatever. Find those core values and just talk about them and express them. And even if you're not a faith-based person at all, I guarantee you it's going to give you more confidence, and it's going to help you find those aligned people in your network that genuinely support you and encourage you and want you to be elevated.
Yes.
So I definitely encourage everybody to do that. It's an exercise. It doesn't take that long. Sit and think about what your core values are, what really means and resonates with you, and then start putting that type of thing out there, and then build your brand, build your presence based on that. And then you'll find that it's that automatic filter I already talked about.
Yes.
But Kelley, wow, so amazing. I think my biggest takeaway was see us through the lens that God sees us. And then we'll be a lot more kinder to ourselves, a lot more self-compassionate, a lot more self-loving. Yeah. And ultimately, we'll be more confident.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. You've got a new book.
I do. I have my second book is out. It's called The One Prayer. That's on Amazon, anywhere you find your books. It just came out about a month ago. Super excited about it. It's really to help people learn about what prayer actually does for you, how it can work in your life. And it's really about creating a miracle movement, because I know for me with prayer, I've seen a lot of miracles, even just through one prayer.
Wow.
Yes.
It's kind of, I'm a practitioner of prayer. And you pray for something and it finds its way of showing up in your life if it's the right fit for you.
Exactly. See, prayer is not about hoping just, for your outcome. It's praying and releasing, because we don't know the outcomes. So we can't, we have to, our prayers is all we can do on our end. Let God do the rest. But when you're praying, hope rises in you. And that's what I want people to have. Again, that hope. We all need more hope in our lives.
I love that. So everybody jump on Amazon, check out Kelley's book. She's got a bunch of programs. She's got an amazing podcast. Look at that. I bought your book. I gave it to my mom to look at, and it's at her house. So I wish
Amazing.
But it's okay. We try, right? I should have had it with me today.
Oh, it's okay. I have plenty of copies behind me.
That's right. That's right. But everyone, I encourage you to connect up with Kelley. She's amazing. She's really active on Instagram as well. So hook up with her there and follow her work and see what she does. Again, she speaks from her authentic heart, from her authentic space and story, and uses a message to really resonate and uplift others. That's why people follow her content. 1, it's genuine. 2, it's authentic. But 3, it's empowering and uplifting for other people.
Thank you.
So you're better off, no matter who you are, just following Kelley. So
thank you so much. That means so much to me. I appreciate it. I do.
You're welcome. But thank you for everybody who tuned in today, and we will catch you on the next episode. Take care.
Bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Grasp Confidence. Thank you for joining me today and investing in yourself. Remember, building confidence is an ongoing journey, and each step you take brings you closer to the empowered, fearless version of yourself that you were born to be. Don't forget to visit my website, follow me on social media, and purchase my book, which is available on Amazon. Thank you for listening. We will see you on the next episode. Stay confident.